in there okay. Okay. So I didn't build all of this road. I certainly improved it. Some of these combined hits and brush though. It's a little rough because I did all this with the excavator and it's not real good at grading. Well, I'm not real good at grading with it, so. But anyhow, widened all this. I could never got this truck up here before. I'm gonna dig up that stump still. It's not shaky cam, it's just a rough road. The pre-existing road, and then I built this little loop road. I built all this. Anyways, I'm gonna pause you guys there while I take care of some business. And we're back. So, let's see old little ghost. She's doing pretty good. Give you a little update and we'll sort of a crybaby walk around. But I won't show you what's in the boxes because trust issues. But it is mostly fitted out now. I need a couple of tools to make it good. Took most everything out of the crummy and put it in here. So the old crummy's just going to have a basic set of tools for when I take it places and just in case kind of deal. But, you know, so the welder is working pretty good. Had to change the little vacuum pumpy thing right there yesterday. But the idle control don't work. See, it's wired open right now. Yeah, the charge don't work on it, but it does weld. Spent couple hours welding with it yesterday, 3 or 4 anyways. Works pretty good actually. Usual back of the crummy stuff. Used oil, good saws, piss pot. Got most of the bugs worked out of the crane. You get some ground issues, but it works pretty good. Been able to get the compressor going all by itself. I've been using ether a whole lot lately. Just got to run the choke for 5 or 10 minutes where it picks up its own fuel. Still need to change the carburetor on it, but it still works. I think the float's messed up, so you gotta turn the fuel off almost. So it's just sipping fuel. But I shut it off. Ooh, noon yesterday? 1 o'clock, somewhere in there. It's almost 10 now. It's 9:30 at least. And still got air in it. So we got torch set up. We got all kinds of stuff. Anyways, so give you guys a little update of what I've been doing because I haven't been making a whole lot of videos lately. So push this road in so the log truck can get in and out of here. Took the good number of loads out of here and pushed the road in when it was really wet. That's why it's kind of rough because it wasn't really holding up too well. Working wet dirt's a bad idea, just in general. So, got Peaches and the missus. Been earning their keep out here. Peaches is going to get put down here pretty soon and get the main cylinders and the 6-cylinder rebuilt and maybe the swing motor. Oh, yeah, the swing motor is going to get rebuilt too. So I may or may not take videos of that because I will be teaching myself how to do so. I've been quoted as much as $800 for parts for one boom cylinder, plus labor at like, I think they said $1,000 in labor, so $1,800 to rebuild one cylinder. It's O-rings, guys. It's just O-rings. Anyways, we won't be using them ever again. I mean, I don't mind paying a little bit to have somebody else do it for me, but when, you know, you're over $1,000 more than the competition, kick rocks. Anyhow, so working on stumping this. We're gonna push the road in. It's kind of, you know, guessing by golly, but we're gonna be kind of coming in over here, pushing back in here. They're gonna be putting a house back here, so they're gonna have a well over here somewhere. So everything we're passing by right now has been stumped. So there's just piles that need to be moved and sorted. All the firewood's gonna get pulled out, stacked up somewhere else. I may or may not use a skidder to do that, but anyhow, so 100 feet that way or so is Forest Service land. It's not too big. It's probably an acre, just under an acre, half acre or so. It's been hot as balls out here lately too, so getting anything done's been, you know, a couple hours here, a couple hours there, trying to avoid the heat, and then having the machine getting hot on me because it needs everything rebuilt. That doesn't help. Anyways, also doesn't help that it's a 2-hour freaking trip to get here, and then if I had to stop in the morning or whatever, it just, you know, that hour and a half, 2-hour drive turns into a 3-hour project. So here it is, 10 o'clock, and I just got here. But anyhow, the subject of old versus new machines, or buying new versus used, or quality versus whatever. Quality is, you know, there's a whole book written on that. Spoiler, the guy ends up in a home. Anyhow, so this is 1994, 92, I don't know. Hitachi 120, EX 120. Same as a John Deere 490E. So it's the other thing. If you need parts, and the guys at the dealership are like, "Oh, it's a gray market machine." It's a 490E. It's a Deere 490E. The cylinders, the boom, the stick, the tracks, the frame, the cab, everything but the motor is identical. But they'll still lie to you and tell you it's a gray market machine. Anyhow, 92, 90, I don't remember, 92 or 94. 120. You know, they, people tell me I need to buy newer machines. Yeah, okay, whatever. So the pins are a little bit loose. They're not terrible. They're just a little loose. It's paid for. It was bought with cash. It was paid for the same day I picked it up. Actually, I think a week before I picked it up. I put a little bit of work into it. You know, the thumb wasn't attached. And it's been working pretty much reliably ever since. I've had, you know, a couple handful of issues, like the dead man, the over angle sensor motor thing that shuts the engine off if you get over like 45 degrees or whatever. It's called a bag motor, I think. That pile of shit right there. It failed on me, and when it fails, it dead mans to off. There's nothing you can do about it. So I just disconnected and figured it out. So that sucked. A few hoses here and there broken, you know, that shit happens. But it's paid for. 18.5, I think I paid for it. 5 years ago. So if I were to buy a new machine, oh, I put tracks on it. If I were to buy a new machine, you're looking at, for a 120 size machine, I think they're going like $300,000. $300,000. Now, if you got cash, cool, you can just go ahead and pay for that, and you got, all the reliability of a brand new machine you can get, which doesn't mean shit. But if you got to make payments on that, you're looking at six grand a month, every month for 6 years. Probably closer to 7 with insurance, because they're going to want full coverage. That's $7,000 a month you got to come up with. And that's $7,000 a month I don't fucking make. To be perfectly honest, I could, if I wanted to bust my ass, work 14 hours a day every day, including fixing everything. Yeah, I could totally make 7 grand a month. Actually, I think I do better than that now, but I'd never be able to make mortgage and anything else. And then if something breaks, tough luck, kid. Break a hose, you're down for 4 hours. Yeah, that's that's your groceries for the month. Gone. If I break a hose, I'm out, a little bit of time. But I make enough as it is. I don't have to push it. So it's kind of, beneficial to buy used and just have it paid for. Even if it's old. This is just as productive as a modern 120. They have the same, really close to the same horsepower. They're the same weight, same digging power. Especially once you have good cylinders and everything in it. But this thing sips fuel too. It holds 30 gallons. I've got 8 hours into it, 9 hours into it right now, and it's still at 3/4 of the tank. Can you do that with a modern machine? No. There's no def. There's no BS. It's got its benefits. Yeah, it's beat up. It's ugly. It runs every day. Skidder, same thing. I got this thing for a song. I paid $4,500 for it. Drove it home. I filled it up once on this entire job. That's 5 or 6 loads of logs. And I don't think I filled it up before I brought it here either. And you're looking at, what did I put in? 10 gallons? 10 gallons for 5 loads of logs. And the machine it's paid for. It's had some issues. But I've put maybe $3 grand in parts into it, and then what? How long have I owned this thing? 9 years? And it fires up every day. I put probably $500 just in batteries, but that's a different story. Need some welding, but that's fine. So $3 grand in parts, $4,500 to buy it. So you're looking at 2 months of payments for a machine. You can't even buy a machine this size anymore. Not in the States anyways. I think the smallest one they sell is the 548, and that's special order only. So I think the 648, 748s are the only ones you can get now. And they're massive. Huge machines. I don't think they fit on this road, to be honest. They're, what are they, 12 feet wide? 12 or 14 feet wide? The road's 12. Actually, no, that part of the road's 8. This is 12. Redonkulous. Where the hell am I going to park it? Anyways. There's a lot of folks out there that are blinded by salesmen, I guess. So that's more of a rant video than I'm usually going to make, but anyhow, guys, I've been working, haven't been making videos. A lot of what I've been doing has just been kind of beating potatoes. Been doing a lot of wrenching lately. Something else is buying used equipment, used trucks specifically. You know, I spent the last 3 days, literally the last 3 days, 4 days technically, working on either the dump truck or the log truck. 3 days working on the log truck. And they went through the trailer on it and rebuilt the suspension. And the fact that I was driving that for a year and a half the way it was is frightening. But that's 3 days. You know, I could have paid somebody $3,000 to do it. You know, fuck, I wasn't doing anything on Sunday anyways. Today's Wednesday. So, you know, that's a day that I spent probably didn't have to spend money on, didn't make money on it, but didn't lose any money on it either. The parts were, God, what am I into parts? For rebuilding the entire suspension, I think I'm into it maybe $200 and 3 days of labor. 3 days of labor that I didn't pay anybody for. Yeah, I didn't make any money. I didn't lose any money either. Oh, 2 gallons in the welder. Lost 2 gallons of fuel. And a gallon in the air compressor in 3 days. Pretty hard to shake a stick at that. Yeah, I've been working with some folks lately, hauling logs for them and whatnot. Doing some contract timber falling. And their bills are extraordinary. And that's whether they're working or not. They got to pay. You know? And to me, that's just foolish. No offense, guys. So yeah, I don't have a problem with new equipment. I think some of it's pretty skookum. Like the new Hitachis. I ran a couple newer Hitachis. They're smooth. The Volvos, they run like butter. You know, I'm used to this one and I can run it pretty good. But you know, you throw a new guy in here and it's herky jerky. You know, pretty entertaining to watch. But it works. You know, but the new machines are smooth. I'll give them that. And it's nice to have, you know, brand new tracks that you don't have to worry about falling off, which this machine's got it now. It's nice to have, you know, pins that aren't a little bit loose and not rattling and banging. Yeah, it's nice. You know, it doesn't take much to rebush these things. It's nice to have a machine without any dents in it. Sure. Is it necessary? No. I mean, I finally bought a Porta Power a few weeks ago, about a month ago, and this door, most of these dents, I think I've mentioned before, were in it when I bought it, and this door never really opens very well. Ooh, granted that latch doesn't work anymore, but that's my own fault. But you know, a little bit of Porta Power action. Pushed the roof back up where it belongs, more or less, and opened the frame up and pushed it out this way. Now it works good. So you can see where it was rubbing. Right here. That is non-factory. But now it works good. And Porta Power. You know, it's $200 at freaking Harbor Freight. Would I have bought one used? Abso-freaking-lutely. Did I find one used for a price that was worth the shit? You answer that yourself. Speaking of used stuff and new stuff, it's actually the whole point of this video and the reason I got on the used stuff in the first place. One of the recent additions to the work truck, call him Little Ghost. Everything's got a name. You got Peaches, the Missus, Little Ghost. He's not exactly little, but so up in there, it's a pretty fancy transfer tank. It's a 100-gallon transfer tank, and bought it used because you know I like used. It's a transfer tank. What the hell's gonna go wrong, right? If it holds fuel, it holds fuel. If it don't leak, you know, it's not full of, you know, goblins and zombies. It's going to do its job. Anyhow, what I paid for it, $300 with the pump and the filter housing and the hose and the nozzle and all that fun stuff. Drop in, ready to go. Needs fuel. I did put a new filter in it. $300 is a pretty good deal, right? Well, you look on any marketplace, you know, Craigslist, Facebook, whatever. There's some joker out there trying to sell just the tank, $600, $400, $500. You know, they're trying to sell the 50 gallons and even the 100-gallon L tanks, all that stuff. They're selling them for $400, $500, $600, or they're trying to. You can buy a new one for $400. You can buy a new 100-gallon for $300. New. Granted, that's just the tank. That's all these guys are selling is just the tank. $600 fucking dollars. Used. What the fuck are y'all thinking? You know, it's like, I saw an ad the other day, a guy selling a 660 Magnum. All worked up, brand new plastics, brand new this, brand new that, brand new everything. Basically a brand new saw. And ported and polished and all kinds of fun stuff. Guy wanted $1,800 for it. $1,800 for a used saw that some assholes rebuilt. That's a 661 right there. It'll walk all over your ported and polished 660. They're $1,400 new. You got to know your parts, man. Know what you're getting into, you know. So yeah, I like used stuff. I don't like buying new. I don't like getting ripped off by dealers. I also don't like getting ripped off by people selling used stuff for more than new. You know your markets. Do some goddamn research. Anyhow, that's my rant for the day. Anybody's still watching? Appreciate y'all. I don't make many videos anymore. It's been so damn busy. You know, I think a couple weeks straight there, I was just in the log truck. Just hauling logs, which is neat for me. I don't know how the hell I'd video it and make it entertaining. Not with the equipment I got. You know, speaking of, that's another thing. You know, used stuff kind of has its limits too, especially older stuff. Like this welder, you know, it runs. It welds great. Everything works on it. I think the 110 side's a little goofy, but that could just be an idle control thing. It's paid for. Got it. Own it. Cool. Would a new welder be better? Absolutely. Would a diesel dual drive with a compressor and a welder and then the generator all built into one unit be awesome? Yes. Would 300 amps be awesome so I got air arc with impunity? Yes. Do I have $10,000? No, they're like $18,000 for one. No. So we run what we got. You know, not a greedy man by any means. I make what I need to make to survive and put a little away and call it good. And do I want more? Absolutely. Do I want $1 million? Yes, but what do I do with it? I buy more junk I gotta fix. You know what I mean? Anyhow, y'all. That's a 25-minute video of ranting. We'll see y'all around. You have a good day.